At the base of Mount Fuji, a dense and eerily quiet forest stretches across 35 square kilometers. This place, known as Aokigahara, has a beauty that hides a tragic secret. Despite its lush greenery and breathtaking views, the forest has gained a much darker reputation. It is one of the world's most infamous places for suicide. People who enter the forest often describe an unsettling silence. The trees are so tightly packed that even on a bright day, little sunlight penetrates. There is almost no wildlife, and the thick layer of volcanic rock beneath the soil absorbs sound, creating an unnatural, deathly quiet atmosphere. Aokigahara has not only been a site of modern tragedies, but also carries a sinister past. In Japanese folklore, the forest is believed to be haunted by yurai, vengeful spirits that wander restlessly. According to legend, Aokigahara was once a place where families, unable to feed their loved ones during times of famine, practiced ubasuta, the act of abandoning the elderly and weak in remote locations to die. One of the most well-known ghost stories is about a woman named Oiwa, who was left in the forest by her desperate family. The tale says that she perished there, but her spirit never moved on. Many who visit Aokigahara report seeing a pale woman in a white kimono, silently staring at them from between the trees before vanishing into thin air. There are also reports of strange voices and whispers echoing through the trees, believed to be the tormented souls of those who took their lives. Some say these spirits try to lure the living deeper into the woods, leading them to a place where they, too, might never return. Aokigahara is the second most popular suicide location in the world, after San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. Every year, authorities find dozens of abandoned belongings, shoes, wallets, letters, left behind by those who never made it out. Some even leave tape or string tied to trees, a desperate attempt to mark their path in case they change their minds. The numbers are so alarming that the Japanese government has stopped publishing suicide statistics for the forest, fearing that publicizing the deaths might encourage more people to come. Signs have been placed at the entrance and along the trails, urging visitors to reconsider their actions. Your life is a precious gift from your parents. Please think again. Don't face your problems alone. Talk to someone. Despite these warnings, the phenomenon continues. Some believe that there is a dark force in the forest, a supernatural presence that influences people's minds and pushes them toward despair. Others say the psychological effect of knowing the forest's history can be enough to drive someone into deep depression. Many skeptics argue that Aokigahara's ghost stories are exaggerated, a product of fear and folklore rather than actual hauntings. They suggest that the eerie silence and isolation can play tricks on the mind, making people believe they are hearing whispers or seeing figures that are not really there. However, there are real stories from rescue workers who venture into the forest to recover bodies. Some report feeling watched or experiencing sudden nausea when approaching certain areas. Others claim to have seen shadowy figures moving between the trees, disappearing when approached. The question remains, is Aokigahara truly cursed, or is it simply a tragic place where sadness lingers? Many skeptics argue that Aokigahara's ghost stories are exaggerated, a product of fear and folklore rather than actual hauntings. They suggest that the eerie silence and isolation can play tricks on the mind, making people believe they are hearing whispers or seeing figures that are not really there. However, there are real stories from rescue workers who venture into the forest to recover bodies. Some report feeling watched or experiencing sudden nausea when approaching certain areas. Others claim to have seen shadowy figures moving between the trees, disappearing when approached. The question remains, is Aokigahara truly cursed, or is it simply a tragic place where sadness lingers? Conclusion: fact or fiction? The suicide epidemic in Aokigahara is very real, backed by countless reports and police records. The forest has undeniably become a tragic landmark in Japan, one where sorrow and death have left a permanent mark. But the paranormal aspects, the ghosts, the voices, the unexplained disappearances, remain a mystery. Some believe them to be the echoes of the dead, unable to find peace. Others see them as psychological manifestations of fear, grief, and the human mind's ability to create horrors out of silence. So, is Aokigahara truly haunted? Perhaps the real terror lies not in ghosts, but in the painful reality of human despair that surrounds this hauntingly beautiful place. Sources: Japan's National Police reports on